If you're over 50 and you've tried side hustles, maybe more than one, and you're still feeling stuck, uncertain, or just exhausted, this video is for you. And it's not because you didn't try hard enough. It's not because you're bad with money, and it's certainly not because you gave up too soon. So today, I want to talk to you honestly about why most side hustles fail after 50, even the legit ones, and what actually works better in this stage of life. Because chasing the wrong income model can quietly drain your confidence, not just your time. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Kim, 54 years old, a mom of 5. I've been laid off twice in the last 10 years. And my husband was laid off 5 years ago. And I've tried plenty of reasonable ideas to bring in extra money. But everything changed after my husband had a heart attack. And that moment made me realize I couldn't afford income that only worked when life was calm, because life isn't calm anymore. So when I talk about side hustles, I'm certainly not judging them. I'm just talking from perspective of someone who cannot afford to keep restarting. Research side hustles, start the side hustle, and then life happens. And then you got to start over. I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted something that I could build. And even if life happens and I had to step away, the income wouldn't stop coming in. Because here's the thing, at our stage of life, at least for me, family time is the most important time. And I sacrificed that enough working my jobs, sacrificed weekends and nights, and time away from family when I had to prioritize my job over my family. And when you're over 50, you just think a little different. And the priorities shift. And if that resonates for you, then definitely keep on watching. Side hustles definitely do not fail because you're older. They fail because they're built on energy and not structure. They're built on having to work an extra 8 hours a day. At our age, we don't have that energy anymore. I don't have the mental capacity for that anymore, because most side hustles are designed for spare time, right? Flexible schedules, high personal bandwidth, bouncing back quickly when things fall apart. And when you're over 50, most people don't have those luxuries anymore. And pretending that we do just creates guilt. Because if you've ever thought, I should be able to do this, why can't I? The answer usually isn't effort. It's simply fit around your lifestyle and your priorities. The hustle economy wasn't built for this season of life in mind. So let's talk about the trap that most people fall into when they try side hustles after 50. The trap is still trading time for money, just like a job. Even if it's online or flexible, even if it's your own thing, if income depends on constant energy, showing up every single day, reacting quickly, working nights and weekends, then the moment life happens unexpectedly, whether it's health, family, fatigue, migraines, everything stalls. And what happens next is subtle but damaging, because you don't just lose income, you start believing that you're unreliable, that something about you changed. But the truth is, nothing changed. You simply chose a model that resets every time real life happens. And here's the thing with me, I get migraines a lot. And usually without fail, at least once or twice a month, I get migraines that last for 3 or 4 days. Once they come, I'm done. And it's so incredibly frustrating, because just when I'm about to hit momentum in my business, I get these migraines and then I completely stop and have to start over. I no longer have to do that anymore. I no longer have to worry about that anymore, which is pretty cool. So let's talk about what works better after 50. The shift is simply moving from side hustle income to skill-based income. And here's why that matters, because jobs just pay you once. Side hustles often pay per hour. Skills can pay repeatedly, whether you show up or not. And that distinction changes everything. A skill doesn't disappear if your schedule changes. It compounds with experience. It can be reused in different ways, and it grows stronger instead of harder. But the problem with side hustles and social media is when people start a side hustle, they try to learn too many things at once. They try to learn multiple platforms, multiple ideas, multiple offers, multiple audiences. They're trying to do too much, and I know this firsthand because I've done it so many times in the past. And what happens is when you create and have a side hustle that creates mental clutter and decision fatigue, that is the absolute fastest way to quit and burn out fast. After 50, progress comes from fewer decisions, not more. So if side hustles aren't the answer, then what is? What works better is a quiet, repeatable system that grows trust over time. You don't want anything flashy, anything fast. You just want something that's stable. Here's the simplest version of what that looks like. One audience, one problem, one message. You speak to the same person about the same issue in your words consistently. You don't trace trends, you build familiarity. And if you're building on social media, you want to create content that helps one person, and you want to connect with the people that respond and follow up with a clear next step. And that's it. And here's the most important part. You track conversations, not views, because trust grows faster in conversation than in metrics. Side hustles often fail after 50 because they depend on constant energy, and they are built on the hoping that you have 8 hours a day to work them. And this is a trap that a lot of people fall into. What works better is a skill-based income that compounds with clarity. That's the shift. And let me just paint a picture of what that looks like. I went into work one day. I went physically in the office. I was sitting in a conference room waiting for a meeting to start. My phone buzzed. I look at my phone. It's a notification that I had just earned $900. Best part was, I wasn't working my business that day because I was at my job. So if this type of income makes sense to you, click on the link in the description below. Because here's the thing, you do not need another side hustle. You just need fewer moving parts and a simple system. Hustling harder is definitely not the answer. Clarity is a system that walks you through step by step how to create an income online and how you can rebuild your income even if you're over 50 without starting over every time life happens. There's certainly no pressure, just structure. You'll find it in the link below. And remember, you are not behind. You are just adjusting, and there's time to catch up. Click on the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.